Good day, hockey fans, and welcome to MC Media's continuing coverage of the Timber Cup, the 2019 high school hockey tournament being brought to you from the Yarmouth Mariners Center in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia. This matchup, one of the co-hosts, the Yarmouth Vikings versus Forest Heights. Yarmouth in gray going from right to left, Forest Heights in black going from left to right. My name's David Tissette. With me today, CJ Killam. CJ, you've been part of this tournament, watching it through most of it today.
I've been in the control room since 9:30 this morning.
But who's counting?
So almost at 12 hours going straight. Yeah, but it's been an exciting tournament. Had a lot of close games early on. And again, I remember hearing JR talk about in the last one, I really like the format of this tournament where every period there's a point up to play. So even though some teams get down by a lot, they still have something to play for. So it keeps that flow going. We'll see here. I am noticing, though, just from doing the eye test, Forest Heights, bit of a smaller bench, so we'll see how that's going to affect them.
Yes, talking to their coach ahead of time, they've got 7 players scratched from this game with injuries, and it is their first game. So last game we had Samak Carrefour having their first game, and they were a little slow off the mark, actually finding their legs. Now, I know both these teams have been here for a while, but getting onto the ice is a little bit different. And you have to wonder how that's going to play out early in the game and then late in the game based on how many players they have.
And if you're Forest Heights, you want to strike while the iron is hot. You know later on in the game you're going to be running a lot on empty because you're going to be taking a lot of extra shifts.
This is Yarmouth's second game, and in the first one they defeated Digby 6-2 in the second game of the tournament, getting 4.5 out of 5 points, putting them in place to certainly move it into the quarterfinal round. And now that seeding in the quarterfinal round will be determined primarily by how many points they can get out of this game. Back behind their own net, that's getting it up to Richardson. Richardson carrying the puck, bodied off. And yes, because he lost control of it, brought himself offside. And so when McPhee brought it in, we had the offside call.
Yeah, you want to think that the Vikings might be a little anxious right now. They know they got a great opportunity to solidify a spot into the quarterfinals, maybe have a chance at those top seeds going right now with a team that has been riddled with injuries in Forest Heights.
Now, we've seen this in past tournaments, so literally when you have 10 teams and you're playing only 2 games, seeding, although important, not really, because it really depends who you've played.
That is true as well, but, you know, there's always that little extra confidence boost going into it when you got that top seed, especially at this age with the high schooler age type players. You know, confidence is everything.
Starting goaltenders, both number 31s for the Forest Heights Falcons, Dawson Coolin, the Yarmouth Vikings, Tyson Peters.
Continuing the trend we've had in this tournament with a lot of whistles.
Face-off controlled by Yarmouth, back to the point. Fired in deep by Richardson. Ripped around the boards. That's going to be held in by Hatfield. Hatfield gets it in front, deflected in just past Coolin, but it goes wide. Coming hard the other way, the Falcons. Coming down into the corner. Couldn't quite get there in time, though. Good work by number 10, Mitchell Stevens, with some good speed, but well defended by the entire team for the Vikings. Come back as Randall. Randall can't control the puck. That's Hatfield again. Hatfield chips it forward. Yarmouth can't quite get it out. Held in just by James Parker. And now finally Moore able to clear the zone. That shot easily handled once again by Coolin, who will cover the puck up for a face-off with 12:51 to go.
A little bit of sloppy play from both sides on that one. A lot of giveaways, a lot of takeaways. I think both these teams might be a little nervous coming into this one. We'll see if they can smooth things over here.
The games tend to be a little sloppy at the beginning as both teams try to find their footing in the game and what they can do, and a lot of that neutral zone ping pong.
Also, the flood did not happen after the end of the first game, so not a very clean sheet of ice on there.
Going in hard the other way is Brown. Brown in the corner, looking for somebody. Cuts to the middle in the high slot. There's a wrist shot just upstairs and over the net. Flipped back in deep by Captain Dominic Lowe. Vikings are going to get it to McLeod. McLeod can't get it out. One more attempt. This time they'll clear the blue line. Coming back is Nickerson. Nickerson with a nice move to get by a couple players. Gets to the middle and then is tipped off. There's the shot. And that's Coolin with the save. Back in front, just out of reach. Back to the point. That's McNichol with the shot. Nick can't get through. Another shot attempt. That can't get through. And finally clearing the front of the net is Dominic Lowe. To the point and out.
Vikings getting the first real sustained pressure we've seen in this game. Only came away with one shot out of it, though.
Nickerson goes to the forehand, the backhand, the shot. Once again, Coolin with a save. Great individual effort by number 5, Max Nickerson.
Oh, that was great on both ends. Nickerson put on a lot of fancy moves there. Did everything but put the puck in the net. Coolin was able to stand tall on that one.
Yarmouth with an early shots on net lead at 5-0.
That's what it's looked at, too. Again, Yarmouth off of that first real sustained pressure. Nickerson, Forsyth's just able to clear the puck out, and Nickerson came flying back in with speed, used that speed to get around his defenders. And Coolin, though, able to just get a piece of that one to keep this a tie game.
To the point and out. Pick 2. Slides it over to Saunier, who gets it up forward. Yarmouth breaks into the blue line. There's a wrist shot handled after a while by Coolin, is able to gather that puck, bring it back in, and cover it up.
Very dangerous there by Coolin. You don't want to be doing that, as you'll see here on the replay. He took the second attempt to get the stick on it, but if you're Coolin, you want to clean those up very quickly because the Vikings are going to be jumping all over it.
A little more speed by the Vikings, and they obviously would have had a great opportunity there.
We'll see if the Vikings try to challenge them a bit more, some more dump-ins on them.
That's Nickerson. Nickerson with the lead pass up to McLeod. McLeod can't reach it. Falcons get it back out to the neutral zone. They'll have another attempt. As going back forward is Corkin. Corkin rips it around the boards. Looking for Randall. Gets to the blue line but not out. Randall pokes it forward. He's going to chase it down one-on-one. Has some room. Goes to his backhand. There's the shot. Can't get much on it. Well defended there at the end by McLeod. As Coolin wasn't able to get that shot. It wasn't able to get much on that backhand.
Good job there by McLeod to come back on that one. He got beat initially. He zigged when he should have zagged, but was able to use his speed to put the pressure on the attacker.
Chip forward, trying to go off the boards, but it goes into their own into their own bench, and the face-off will come back deep into the Falcon end.
Yeah, you'll see again on that replay, a good job there by McLeod to come in. He was forcing the attacker to only go one direction, so it allowed the goalie to get right in front of him. He had nowhere to go on that shot.
Harris reverses direction. Moore gets it back to the point. There's a hard slap shot handled. Actually, there's a rebound, another save, and a goal! As the Yarmouth Vikings are able to draw first blood on shot number 3. I think the first one might have been stopped by the defenseman. I think at the end of the day, number 18, Oren Hatfield, able to put that first goal in.
Yeah, it took about 2 tries there. First one was kicked away, but then there goes the other one right past him. Again, more of that rebound control. Coulin wasn't able to really hold on to that one. Vikings now 7 shots now with one in the back of the net with the 1-goal lead.
A little too much looking there by the pair of Falcon defensemen, as they were both in line with the goaltender, but nobody was actually out taking the player. Coming hard the other way is Lowe. Lowe with it goes wide, goes around the net, pass in front, off of a skate, and I believe the net has become ajar.
Again, with without the flood between the periods, those net pegs going to be a little bit looser. So yeah, just one quick push off there by Peters, was able to take it off. I don't know if the ref didn't notice it right away, or he saw that Forsyth had a chance and maybe wanted to at least allow them to continue and finish up that chance.
Face-off controlled, shot, rebound, another save. 2 nice saves by Tyson Peters as he gets into this game in a big way at the 9:55 mark.
Yeah, that's out of the 3 shots, he got 2 quick ones right there. Almost a carbon copy of the goal that the Vikings scored. Is that on the first shot, Peters able to make the save, but then you see him stick out that pad and get it right in front of the second shot and quickly cover it up. Good job there by Peters to preserve the lead.
Puck comes up out of the scrum. Tyler McLeod's going to get there first. Lead pass to Saunier. Just goes behind him, picked up by the Falcons. Falcons will clear the zone. Bringing him back the other way is Watkins. Watkins tries to get it in deep, goes off of a body. He tries to follow it, but the Falcons are able to clear that zone again. That one's going to come all the way down, but no. Oh, it is going to be icing. Looked like a play could have been made on it. But I'm not going to quibble about that at the 9:28 mark of the first period, CJ.
We still got a long way to go here in the final game on day one of the Timber Cup.
Of course, in previous years, we'd be remiss if we didn't bring it up that it was for the longest time the Cooks Cup. I know everyone very happy that local Pleasant Supplies Timber Mart took on the sponsorship duties of this tournament, a long-standing tournament and a high school tournament, and everyone very happy that they did that.
Oh, exactly, and it's the tournaments like these live and die by their sponsorship. So great on Pleasant Supplies Timber Mart to come in and do that, but does make our job as commentators a little more difficult, as we've been calling it this tournament one thing for about 5 or 6 years now. So maybe we should set up a swear jar if we have to donate some money anytime one of us doesn't say Timber Cup.
Coming in again is Yarmouth. There's a shot. Score! Number 17, Jaden Watkins picked up the puck at the blue line, skated in, got by a couple players, was in the high slot, and got it by the stick side of goaltender Dawson Coolin.
You see here on the replay, wide open in the slot, and 9 times out of 10, a good shooter's going to put that in the back of the net. See a lot of kind of standing around there by the defenders in their own zone. They got to get their legs moving because the Vikings right now are coming at them with speed.
Come back the other way, chipped in by Zach Richardson. Getting in there first is going to be Bond. Jackson Bond. I had to.
I probably would have too.
I tell you, if he makes a move, I might say shaken, not stirred, too. Breaking out hard now is Stevens. Stevens kind of gets hooked up there with the linesman trying to get in. And the Vikings will clear the zone. Stevens right back with it, goes back to his D. Cross ice, D to D. Probably a return pass. No, that one goes up just a little in front of Parker. He was there for the shot, or for the good attempt, but it was out in front of him, and we have the icing call.
Yeah, again, Forest Heights, passes, if they were just a little bit more crisper, they might have a couple more chances here. We'll see how they're going there. It seems like they're still trying to shake off that rust.
And as you said, I think they needed to strike while the iron was hot, especially with the limited amount of players that they had with the short bench. As this game goes on, I really think it's going to be a little more difficult on them.
It's going to be tougher. They're going to get a break after this period, so they still might have another chance in the second, but the longer this game goes on, I put more and more advantage on Yarmouth's side.
And that fresh ice at the second period will be good as well.
But that fresh ice also going to benefit the Vikings, as I've been seeing so far. Their game plan is to go in with speed over and over again, so the fresher that ice is going to be, the faster they're going to go.
Good save there by Peters. You'll see he jams that pad against that short side, not allowing him to jam that in. Keeps it down, covers it up for the whistle.
That's what you do as the goaltender. You don't want any holes once you're hugging that post. Last thing you want to do, especially if you're Peters, is give up an easy one here and let Forest Heights get right back in there.
Up along the boards to the half board. Yarmouth's going to clear the zone. Low going after it in his own end. Half hands on that, spins away from trouble. Chips it forward, and he'll get it back again. To the bread line, but not out. That one's chipped back. Once again, the Falcons in their own end. And once again, Yarmouth gets it. This is Watkins. Watkins goes to his right, has some room. Looks for some space, looking in front, pass in front. Good stick there by Coolin. Goaltender, able to flip that away. Falcons back behind, coming out of their own end. Only going to get to center, though. No, good hand work there by number 22, Justin Brown. Has that weak angle shot. It actually looks scary, but it just hit the side of the net. He's going to pick it up on the side. He's in the high slot again. The shot, that one's wide. And the net is ajar again. Once it comes loose once, it comes loose often.
It's going to keep happening there. Some great work there by Forest Heights. I thought that one was in. The optical illusion fooled me. But he, right off of that shot, that initial miss, though, gets the own rebound, comes out, creates another good scoring opportunity. Forest Heights, I want to see some more of this from Forest Heights. A lot of game left to be played. They can come back in this one.
Knowing that the net's come off a couple times, that time the linesman took some of the goaltender's water and actually tried to clear away some snow and put some fresh water down there in hopes that the peg would at least freeze in and be a little more steady for the last 6:51 of the first period. Forsyths again, backhand well wide. That's Randall in the corner, tries to get it out front, taken out of the play, going after it again. That's both teams, that's Pictou. Back behind his own net, Evan Saunier. Saunier stops and looks. Looking for Surratt. Surratt 1 against 2, but nobody really being too physical right now. 2 on, no break, backhand, and the save by Peters. As a 2-on-0 opportunity as the Yarmouth defensive play just broke down completely in their own end.
They've been having a few defensive lapses so far in this one. As you'll see here on the replay, they come out in front, does the backhanded shot. I don't know if he was aware he had his open skater to the side. Maybe that would have been the better opportunity, but I've noticed the Vikings, they've had a few pretty bad defensive lapses, bad giveaways in your own zone. Those are going to come back to bite you. Vikings need to clean that up quickly.
Harris tries to fire it in deep, gets about halfway there, coming back again to the Falcons. But Yarmouth will break out the other way. I believe that's Moore. Moore chips it in. Goes it after it, chip and chase. Leaves it off. Weak angle shot. That goes wide. Falcons going to chip it forward, and they have another break. This is Stevens being chased down, though, by 3 Yarmouth players, and he spins around away from trouble. Tries to flip it out in front, looking for Marshall Josie, but can't quite reach. Coming back the other way is Justin Brown. A little more jump in their step. The Falcons right now, they were a little slow off the mark, but now it seems like Yarmouth that's a little slow.
Yeah, I think Forsyth's got a lot of boost off of that initial 2 chances there. Looks like we're going to get a too many men played coming off the bench, and just as Forsyth's starting to build some momentum, this penalty looks to be taking a lot of it away.
That was so close. The player that was looking to leave had not left, and the player that that had replaced him did indeed play the puck.
It was just that one of those close calls, and the refs, gonna have to call it. The refs, they've been calling this tournament tight so far in this one. Anything they see, they call. So Forsyths, have this being their first game, might not be so far aware of that. Maybe in some other games they might have gotten away with that one.
Number 9, Marshall Josie, is going to serve that penalty, the too many men penalty. Yarmouth has the puck. Great opportunity to get that 3rd goal here in the first period and actually cool off some of that offensive pressure that Forsyths has been displaying over the last few minutes of the first. Back over, here's a great opportunity. Stops, gains some room. Max Nickerson did, but then he kind of handled himself away from a shot. Richardson breaks out. Pass, there's a beautiful cross-ice pass to number 27, 17, Jaden Watkins, and Watkins put it in. 32 seconds into the power play, 3-0 Yarmouth.
And that looked like a power play drill out there. That's something they set up in practice. That's worked through here, as you'll see on the overhead. Right over, no one anywhere near him to get that shot off. Easy shot in, and it was a lot of good work by there. You could almost tell by the setup, the different way the players are placing themselves along there. It was creating that open space for the extra man to get that shot off. And just like that, Vikings with the 3-goal lead.
The ebb and flow of a hockey game, as Yarmouth certainly controlled the first 5 minutes, but these last 5, it was the Falcons that actually were coming on and doing well. Hadn't scored a goal, but at least had a lot of play. And that's a high deflection, and I'm not sure if it was an own goal.
I couldn't tell. I think a Viking might have gotten the stick on that one, but even so, that was a puck that just decided to really go in the net. We'll see here.
It was indeed the Viking. There he was with the deflection.
It looks.
And I think it's number
17.
17,
I think
Jaden Watkins.
Yeah, 17 was leading the one, but that's something that the skater didn't think that was going to go in. The initial shooter didn't think that was going to go in. I don't think the goalie thought that was going to go in. That was just one of those pucks that had the decision, I'm going in the back of the net. It doesn't matter what else anyone is going to do about it.
4:45 to go in the first period, and Yarmouth dominating this first period of play. Coming back hard again, that's Jarrett Sanford that throws it in deep. Back to the point, held in just momentarily, 2-on-1 with numbers. Coming in is Randall. Randall from the shot, takes a shot, pad save. Going for that far side, the stick side, and it was there.
Peters, another good job on the save there. It seems every single time Forest Heights seems to start getting that momentum going, Peters is there to just shut the door and snuff it out.
Face-off will be to Peters' left, 4:16 to go in the first period. Shots on net, 12-6. Sometimes it's not indicative of play. Today it is.
And it's also quality chances as well coming from the Vikings. So it's not just in numerical value, but it's quality as well.
Zach Richardson has trouble clearing it across, fights for it behind his own net, chips around, and he'll follow it up. Gets it up to Moore. Moore pushes it up forward, looking to Watkins, Hatfield. Hatfield with a sharp angle shot, and that goes off of a stick into the netting. So at 3:51, we'll have another whistle. There has not been a dearth of whistles in the first period.
I don't know if we've gotten more than 3 consecutive minutes of hockey being played so far in this one yet.
Not a lot of flow.
But we'll see if they can try and clean this one up there. Maybe once we get the fresh ice, things will start going smoother.
Falcons behind their own net. A little bit shaky there, but gets through a lot of the Yarmouth players. Lead pass to Parks. Parks goes into the corner. Gets to the captain. I think that's Lowe. Lowe goes in front. Tries a reverse. Nice attempt there. That's Lowe. Lowe drops it off to Brown. Brown gets through one player, chases it down again. Yarmouth coming back with some numbers now. I believe that's Hatfield. Hatfield has some room. Long slap shot off of the goaltender's arm into the netting and then on top of the net, maintaining our 45 seconds of hockey at a time schedule.
Forest Heights had a nice little rush there, but a little bit of caution there to the captain, number 5. He looks to be trying. He did a lot there on that last rush. You don't want to get into that mentality of, I'm going to carry the team on my back, especially with a short bench. You're going to gas yourself a lot, and you're going to end up making more mistakes. But a great rush there by number 5. But you want to keep those just a couple times a period, or you're going to tire yourself out.
Coming in hard now are the Falcons. Nice defensive play by Yarmouth to break that up. Could have been a great opportunity for the Falcons to get on board. Pictou goes cross ice. Yarmouth breaking out of their own end. Some skating room for Nickerson. Gets by a few people, goes to the middle, but can't get there. Does go to the side, and that puck can't get through. Back behind the Falcon net. Forest Heights can't get it. Yarmouth's there first. McLeod tries to spin away from trouble. Passes it off. Pass in front. It's going to go right to the point. Forest Heights gets it. Chips it forward. Going out, looking for some skating room is Parks. Parks goes to the middle, takes a shot. Good active stick by number 5, Max Nickerson, deflecting that play out and keeping our 45 seconds of hockey down to a T.
I'm liking what I'm seeing from number 5, Max Nickerson. He's got a lot of speed, and he's got some great stick handling ability. I've seen him dance around a few guys. You even saw him use that stick defensively as well to get in front of the shooter and not just deflect it, but really knock it away and out of play.
Behind his own net, Yarmouth. Lead pass goes off of a stick to the sideboard. Coming back the other way, we've got Randall. Randall with a shot. That one goes wide. Terrific scoring opportunity. Randall couldn't find the net. Another one saved by Peters. This time it was Lowe with a shot. Held in nicely, though, by Parker. Parker spins around. Still looking to fight through that check. Parker gets it off to Stevens. Stevens loses control but does keep it in. Gets it to the D. That one's dumped into the side. That's Randall. Randall to Parker. Parker trying to do this. Randall with it again. Yarmouth fighting for the puck as well. That's Parker. This one time it's kicked ahead. Looking for Hatfield. Hatfield taking off the play. He pushes back. Yarmouth's going to get that puck, and it's Richardson who gets the puck and gets it out. Coming back the other way is Richardson again. Richardson goes deep behind the net. Both teams fighting for it. Yarmouth still looking for it. They do have it now. Stopping and looking. A little too much stick handling and pressure there, and the Falcons able to get it to center ice. That's Lowe again. Lowe can't quite get it, though. Tries to take the player out. Does indeed take him out. Randall, that's last minute of play in the first period. Moore's going to try to get there. Won't get there before Harris, who dumps it in, tries to dump it in deep. Second attempt gets it almost all the way, and Clements picks it up for Yarmouth. Spinning away from trouble to Moore. Moore up the boards, but not out. That passes in front. Yarmouth able to pick that out. And coming back the other way is Watkins with the lead pass for Moore. Moore gathers it in, takes a wrist shot off of a leg and can't get through. 32 seconds to go in the first period, and by gosh, CJ, we had a stretch of game.
We finally broke the 45-second barrier. It was almost 3 minutes there. And not just that, a lot of continuous pressure from Forest Heights. That was a lot of great offensive chances. Had a couple of missed shots, but unfortunately for Forest Heights, again, just like last time, as they were starting to build up a lot of good offensive momentum, they take a penalty, and now they got a man in the box.
It's number 7, Patrick Randall in the box. I didn't catch the call. Did you see it?
I did not see it as well.
We'll see if we can get the announcement. Yarmouth able to score 35 seconds into their first power play. Slashing. 20 seconds to go. Yarmouth has control. Nickerson tries to get the shot, goes to the point. Nice use of the feet to kid it over. Bit of a fan on that shot. Another opportunity, and that one goes up over the net and wide. 5 seconds to go. Back to the point to Saunier. Saunier dumps it in deep. Didn't want to give away a breakaway. And there's the horn. Yarmouth will start the second period with a 1 minute and 29 second or less power play. At the end of one complete, the Yarmouth Vikings dominating the Forest Heights Falcons 4-0. On behalf of MC Media, we'd like to thank everyone for watching our live streaming of the 2019 Timber Cup. We're going to take this break right now as they clean the ice between the first and second periods, and CJ and I will be back to talk about the game at the beginning of the second period. Welcome back, hockey fans, to second period coverage of the Yarmouth Vikings versus Forest Heights Falcons game. And this, of course, the 2019 Timber Cup. Last game of the day, a long day, and followed by another long day tomorrow.
Another 12 hours of hockey tomorrow, 10 to 10, all day long here, mcmedia.stream.
A carryover penalty from the end of the last period. Yarmouth has a 1 minute and 29-second power play here to begin the second period. They had one power play earlier and scored in the first, I believe, it was about 32 seconds of that power play. They'd love to get off the mark right away here in the second period, as every period counts. It's not just winning a game in this tournament, it's winning periods and getting all those valuable points to seed you into the playoff round.
We'll see what Vikings able to do with a fresh and clean sheet of ice they didn't have in the first period. Already playing with a lot of speed. We'll see if they get that much more faster.
Richardson has the puck. Saucer pass in deep. Nickerson looking to slide himself over to the center. He's not getting the puck, has it now. Looking for a shooting lane. Still has the puck. Uses good body control. Drops it back off to McPhee. McPhee goes to the middle. High slot shot. That one goes off body, and Yarmouth, nice movement of the puck, but not really getting one through yet. Coming back to the middle, this time it's Richardson again, and he does lose control. Richardson loses control. Nickerson grabs the puck and has some room. Good defensive work there by 22 Justin Brown, able to get that puck. 20 seconds to go in the power play. That one's knocked down by a high stick. McPhee, he will not touch it though. And so the whistle's not blown. Breaking back the other way, shorthanded. There's a wrist shot off of a stick. Good active stick there. Actually, it wasn't too active. He just got in the way, Max Nickerson. But it did go off of his stick up into the netting. 9 seconds to go in the power play.
Some good work there on the power play by the Vikings. Got a few good chances. I actually kind of noticed what the Vikings' plan seemed to be. They were trying to almost hide their extra skater behind the net, hope the defensive man in front would lose sight of him once he went in there behind the net, and then they would try to sneak in back around the face-off circle and try to get that wide-open one-timer.
Yarmouth breaking out of their own end. 1 second. Now the penalty is over. They'll get to the blue line. Back to the blue line, but not out. Fired towards Coolin, and he steers it into the side. Back to the point. Not held in. Breaking out the other way is Josie. Josie tries to angle the body and get it over to Randall. Randall can't control that pass, though, and it goes into the corner. Both teams fighting for it. Randall comes away with it, tries to slide it in front. Can't get there. Yarmouth's going to break out, has some numbers. 3-on-2. Chipped in deep by Tanner Nickerson. He'll chase it, get there first. Try to use his body to shield the player away. Forest Heights able to get the puck in, but not out. That one deflected by the defense. It's loose in front, and finally cleared away for safe out of harm's way by the Falcons.
Good work there by the Forest Heights defenders, bailing out their goaltender there. Again, having a little bit of difficulty with those rebounds is Coulin.
Peters keeps that puck going around the corner. Coming out with it the other way, though, is Stevens. And Stevens gets it again behind the net. Passes in front, just out of reach early in the game. And what do you guys call that? Lefty-loosey or something?
I don't know what JR was calling it. It's been a while over there, but, you know, that doesn't bode well for the rest of this game if that post is already coming off.
Yeah. Here we have the replay, and pass in front. You can see goes behind the net. Sliding around the other side, and the goaltender just really nothing egregious there.
Nothing. Like
literally just trying to.
It's like the stick slightly touched the post and it came off. Maybe just wasn't placed in there very firmly after the flood. Let's hope it's that, and we're not going to be stuck with this for the rest of the game.
Face off to the right of Peters. Slap shot from the point. It goes wide. Chasing in is Lowe to chip it in deep. Gets it to McPhee. Round the net. Yarmouth breaks out into the neutral zone, but no real numbers up there. Skating hard, though, after it is McNichol. He is going to get there first. Good effort there by McNichol. But then he is taken off the puck. Coming out of his own end is number 22, Justin Brown, but he loses the puck at the Yarmouth blue line. Gets right back into the play, though. Coulin takes it. Doesn't really have it at first. Was looking to see whether or not he should give it to his defenseman. Most times, goaltenders now, they're going to take that face off and let your team get a change if you want it, and not really keep that play going.
As you'll see here on the cover-up, he looks to go for it and then kind of second-guesses himself, or I don't know, even realize maybe he thought he had it and it just slipped out there. Again, it's hard to tell sometimes because he's had some issues on those cover-ups.
Face off to Coolin's right. Falcons going to control it just outside the blue line. Yarmouth will have to tag up. They do, giving the Falcons time, and Harris behind his own net will take that time to look for a player. Almost gives it up, but it does get off to Josie. Josie breaks has the pass up, lead pass to Lowe. Lowe has some room, goes to the middle, doesn't get the shot away. Back to the point. One-timer attempt by Drake Harris, doesn't get much on it, and it goes into the corner. Parks tries to do something for Falcons. Back in front. Both teams fighting for it in the corner. The referee's going to want them to move it. Lowe pinches in, gets it in deep again. Gets right back to him, uses the skate nicely. There's a hard wrist shot, glove saved by Peters.
There's some good offensive pressure there by Forest Heights. Their first really of the period. We'll see if they get into this. This is the time where they're going to need to strike very quickly because, again, as we mentioned at the beginning of the game, they got a lot of injuries on this team, playing with a very short bench. Basically, only have enough players to roll out 2 lines plus an extra skater, give or take. So we'll see here how quickly, because they're only going to have a short break after the second period, maybe 5 minutes, if that. So we'll see as the later game goes on how much they have left in that tank.
Had some good sections in the first period, though. They really did control some aspects of the play, just didn't get a lot of quality shots.
That was the main thing, and they actually got some quality shots, but they would miss the net, too. So, and then every time it seemed that they were really getting that offensive pressure, that's when also they would take a penalty, and all that momentum, all that hard work would just go out the window.
Back to the point, wrist shot from the point through a crowd, steered aside by Peters. Falcons come back again. There's another shot. Peters with a blocker save, and that right post, once it off once, is going to be off quite a bit.
Yeah, and we're going to be stuck with that for the rest of this game. So if you thought there was a lot of whistles in the first period, I'm not liking the forecast that we're going to have for the next 2.
Cloudy with a chance of net displacement.
It looks like the refs are trying to nip this in the butt as quickly as possible. Seem to get a lot of extra work going down in there.
Going to get some snow scraped up in there, probably squirt some water into it, try to harden it up a little bit.
Looks like McPhee from the Vikings also trying to use the stick as a shovel, try to help them out because you want to think the players themselves don't want this to keep happening as well because it messes up their flow just as much as it messes up the viewers' flow as well. Yeah, it looks like they're really doing some surgery there on on that hole.
Good look from the overhead camera. Shots on net 18-10. 10:41 to go here in the second period. Yarmouth on top, 4-0 over Forest Heights. Yarmouth, one of the co-hosts of this 2019 Timber Cup high school hockey tournament. Yarmouth and Paramba Sharks, the 2 Yarmouth County hockey teams, high school hockey teams that are in play in the county. And so I think last year they were co-hosts as well.
Yes, I believe as well. I believe they've been co-hosts for a while.
Okay.
I don't want to give a year because I can't quite remember, but I definitely think it's been more than just the 2. But we'll see here. It finally seems they hopefully got the net situated, so maybe we'll see if we can get past that 45-second mark of continuous hockey.
Puck controlled by Yarmouth. Up along the boards, both teams fighting for it at the half board. Yarmouth does finally come away with it. Lead pass just out the read of McNichol. He'll skate in hard to go after it. Not going to get there first. Bails away from any contact. Gets back to the point. Fire back in deep and around the boards. Braxton McNichol's not going to get there in time. And coming hard the other way is Brown. Brown has some room one-on-one. Loses control and goes behind the net, though. Tries to feather it out front, but can't get by the defender. He's going to get another attempt. That's knocked away nicely by McPhee. Good opportunity again, but this time it's saved by Peters. Side of the net, sliding across, and Peters slides, and it goes across just through the blue ice, and we've had a delayed penalty coming up against Yarmouth. Pass in front, that one goes off a stick. It's going to come back here. The goaltender not out for Forest Heights yet, still in his net. Doesn't believe that it's a delayed penalty, I guess.
Well, I think
now he's finding out, and there he goes.
Well, I think also you didn't want to be, how many times have you seen on the blooper reels of team on a delayed penalty and the puck's down in their end, the goalie leaves and the puck just lazily skates inside of it. So I think it was a bit more of a, I don't want to end up on the blooper reels on YouTube. So I'm going to stay here until I'm sure my guy's got the puck and he's going away from me. But fantastic saves there by Peters. Did a lot of great work there. Looking a little like Dominic Hasek the way he was flopping around that net, but he got a body part in front of the puck every time he had to. So some great work by Peters as both the Vikings coming on, giving them taps on the pads as they're saying, like, that's some nice work there, buddy. You're holding this shutout for us.
Forest Heights Falcons with their opportunity with the power play now to see if they can get on the board. That was a solid clearing opportunity there by goaltender Coolin.
Yeah, it was like Marty Brodeur asked there if that. A lot of power there. If he could get the finesse going down there, that's going to be a quite skilled puck handler.
Lowe loses the puck at the blue line, and then it gets tipped out by the Falcon player, so that faceoff will come outside. Still plenty of time. Minute 35 to go here in this power play. They're going to want to establish some presence in the defensive zone now. The Falcons will during this power play.
Definitely, and they had a very good offensive chance, and that offensive chance is what led to the penalty. Vikings almost had no choice but to take a penalty to avoid a goal.
Coming back the other way is McPhee. Tries to get it. There's a shot. It goes wide. Sharp angle, so it's going to get all the way back to the point. That's Brown. Brown stops. He's going to switch positions with his defensive partner, Lowe. Goes cross ice to Lowe. Lowe looking for the shot, looking for that deflection. Because he get there, sharp ankle shot. That net is going to be off again. And it is off.
But I guess the refs are going to say it's close enough on to keep play going.
Check. A wraparound, but the Falcons lose control of it. Here's a good opportunity coming back the other way for the Vikings. Short-handed. Coming in is Sander Nickerson. There's a shot, and it's high and wide. Great short-handed. He might get another opportunity. Backhand attempt. Coolin makes the save, finds the puck. Nice play by Watkins doing the old Savardian spinorama.
There you go. That's probably a bit before a lot of the definitely the players on the ice's time. That's a little bit before my time.
Ask your dad or your grandfather.
Yeah. And I believe during that rush back, I think the referee helped Peters put the net back on its peg. So the refs can't, they know they don't want those stoppages as well. So I think they realized the net wasn't completely off, so they let that play go because they didn't want to whistle that dead.
Great stretch pass up to number 10, Steves. He stops, takes a look. Nice stick handle, gets around one, goes around another, can't get the shot away. One against the world, and Stevens did a great job there, but could not get that shot.
He went around almost the entire Vikings defense as that one played just offside. Just could not get that last little bit off, just couldn't quite get the shot off. But again, Forest Heights coming here into the second period, putting on a lot of offensive pressure. Vikings a little bit back on their heels, and you know what? There's still a point up for grabs here in this period. Right now, it's tied 0-0 in the period scoring.
6 seconds left in this power play. Fired in deep. Peters can't control it. Getting there instead is going to be Moore. Check that. That's Watkins. Watkins going to go behind his own net. Has it again. Power play is now over. Chipped high off the boards. Skating hard after it is Hatfield. Hatfield's going to get there. Sliding, trying to get that pass across. Good effort. Couldn't quite get it, though. Jackson Bond tries to get it out. Coming back behind the net, that's Richardson. Richardson tries to get it back to Moore. Moore back to the point. Wrist shot from the point. Gets through everyone. That's a save by Coolin. Cleared away to the blue line and out. Yarmouth able to grab that puck in the neutral zone, though. Setting up. Nice saucer pass over to Richardson. Richardson tries to chip it forward. Taken out of the play, and Parks rips it around the boards. Moore back to the point again. He'll get the return pass. Going to look in front. Slips it down to Richardson behind the net. Richardson with a nice spin to get away from trouble. Good cycle behind the net. Richardson goes back, tries to get it to Moore. It's picked off. Off Moore's stick. Some numbers again. Chip forward. A good hustle there by Parks trying to go around. He is going to get there first. Watkins well defended, though. Back to the point. Opportunity. Corkin goes wide, but then does steered away from the puck. Can't get that shot away. Vikings come away with it. In the corner, 5:39 to go here in the second period. Both teams fighting for it. The referees are going to want them to play it. That it does stay in. Easy save by Peters from the shot from the point from number 21, Bond. Jackson Bond.
Second time, as we see here on the replay. Once again, it's that long blue line shot, easily handled by Peters. No one in front of him, and Peters on his game in this one, making a lot of fantastic saves. Vikings, though, off that penalty kill, able to get some of that offensive momentum going. Got a few good chances there. Forest Heights, though, able to try and swing that momentum right back, but here we go, the Vikings the other way.
Yarmouth gets it in deep. Well defended, though, team defense by the Falcons, who have played a much better period, assisted by the power play, which allowed them to actually gain a little bit of offensive pressure and find their game. But they're going to have to get on board here with 5 minutes to go in the second period, because you have to think as the game progresses that short bench is going to come into play.
Oh, you definitely have to think, especially going into this third period. They're going to have probably less than 5 minutes of rest between periods. We'll see that coming in there. So they want to take as many chances as they can, and they have been doing that. So credit on to them after having a pretty bad first period. I think everyone can admit they come here on the second on fire.
Randall with good effort gets it in front off of the skate. He's going to get it again. The backhand, nothing on it. Josie tries to make the shot, and it goes wide as well. Once again, good effort there by the Falcons, just not being rewarded with a shot on net or even forcing Peters to make a quality save. Check behind the net, and the net is just a little more than a little askew this time.
That time the net got a full Vikings player against it, so that's going to definitely knock it off. As you'll see there, got pushed right up on the backside. But again, some more good work by Forest Heights to get going on that offensive pressure, but some even better work by the Vikings on defense to not let them get that shot off. So the Vikings seem to be They have that defensive end in that they'll bend, but they don't break right now, and that's going to keep the Vikings keep their shutout intact.
Good opportunity there for the Falcons, but the Vikings will break out, chip it in deep. Going in after it is McNichol. He's not going to get there first, though. Falcons get it to the point. Chip forward, a good breakaway opportunity for Parks. Parks has not quite enough room. Great defensive play by Zach Richardson, breaking that up. Gets back to the Falcons. That stick is lifted. Back to the Falcons again with a wrist shot. That one goes through, and Peters gets the trapper down to make the save.
And there we go again. It was a little extracurricular after the whistle.
Hasn't been a lot of it in this game.
Hasn't been a lot of it, but again, I think that more goes into the fact that Forest Heights still has an opportunity to get to at least get 2 more points out of this one, which would put them giving them a decent chance at making into the quarterfinals.
Because this is just their first game. They have another game tomorrow, I think. No, they don't.
They don't.
Sorry, I'm thinking it was their first game. It wasn't. They lost their first game against
Barrington.
Barrington.
There we go.
7-2.
There we go. So now
it is important.
So now you are seeing the more desperation, but that's not going to help. That one just going through 5-hole.
And that's number 16, Jared Sanford, with the slap shot from the left side, and it got through the goaltender. Coolin might want that one back.
Just goes straight through the 5-hole. He got a piece of it, but he had a leak, and it just went right through. And that's a heartbreaker for Forest Heights, who have been playing such a great second period, and now they are down in the period. So very dire straits right now for Forest Heights.
Lead pass. Yarmouth has it again. Richardson with a shot. That one with a nice toe save.
Vikings going right back at him after giving up a weak one. They smell blood in the water, and they're looking to put the pressure on.
Breaking back behind his own net is Brown. Brown goes wide. Lead pass just out of the reach. Now Brown gets it again. Sorry, Parks. Parks has it. Goes in front of the net. There's a shot opportunity. That goes, I think, off the glove and behind the net. Picking that up is Max Nickerson trying to get the puck out. He can't do it. Parks has it again. Still chases after it. Behind the Yarmouth net. Once again, great positional play, or not, it's good positional play by the Falcons. They're just not able to get that shot away. And like you said, after all of that good work, being down that 1 goal in this period.
Yeah, it's a heartbreaker. As the Vikings, again, another good chance, another loose puck, and here come the Vikings. Again, just going wide as Kulin was down and out.
Kulin was indeed down and out, flopping around like Hasek when that one went wide. That one's going to get down. Good opportunity for Patrick Randall now. He has to have a player with it. He'll take that sharp angle shot. Good blocker save by Peters. Nickerson tiptoes through the blue paint. Has some room. Goes wide up. Gets to the blue line. Big check attempt there by Marshall Josie. Got a little bit of Nickerson, but not enough to displace the play, but not the player. Up to Hatfield. Hatfield tries to chip it forward, back into the neutral zone. Skating hard is Stevens. He's not going to get there in time, as Yarmouth's going to get it right back in. Up to the open wing, but Corkin's there for the Falcons. Pass just a little behind. Yarmouth's going to come back. They were going to be offside. Good Orrin Hatfield. Good recognition of what the play was, and he didn't want the face-off. There you go. That's how you take somebody out. I don't want to say gently into the boards, but if he had rammed him in, it would have been boarding. It would have been checking from behind. There's the right way to do it when you are seeing the players back.
Exactly. And you're seeing that a lot more now because now, since those rules have come in, these guys have gone through all the junior levels of hockey. So they didn't have it randomly change on them as some of these other ones had. These are guys who have played all of their junior hockey with that technique being taught to them. Wrap the guy up. Don't hold on to him. Just gently hold them in there because, you know what, you don't want to take a guy's head off.
Yeah. Face off to the right of Kulin, 1:15 to go in the second period. The score is 5-0 Yarmouth Vikings over the Forest Heights Falcons. This is the last game of day 1 of the 2019 Timber Cup, brought to you by MC Media from the Yarmouth Mariner Center in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia.
Seems the refs having a conversation with the two benches right now.
I wonder if they're getting a little yappy at stuff, and I really don't see why, because it hasn't been that type of game. The previous game, the Battle of Acadie, got a little spicy at times.
It did, as it normally does, if memory serves me correctly. But now the game is starting to get a little bit out of hand at 5-0 right now. Maybe Forest Heights, the frustration really starting to boil over. But again, you know, if you look at the scoring, both Avonview, Somet, and Clare aren't doing great points-wise. And all three of them, I believe, have another game left. So if you can still get another goal, get a half point out of this period, get another point out of the next period, you might still have a chance at the quarterfinals. So Forest Heights can't get inside their own heads.
Good opportunity for Yarmouth, but it's broken up. Coming back the other way as Randall goes after the puck, makes a nice inside move, has the puck, pass in front. Nice save, rebound goes wide. Great opportunity. Peters equal to the task.
Peters once again, every single time the Vikings have a defensive lapse, Peters able to bail them out.
And there had been some defensive lapse by the Vikings.
Again, it's that bend, not break mentality.
Coming back the other way with 5 seconds to go, we've got Lowe. Lowe goes to the middle, takes a wrist shot, doesn't get much on it. Stopped by the defense, fired around the boards as the horn blows. The end of 2 complete. The Yarmouth Vikings 5, the Forest Heights Falcons no score.
So Vikings have already secured themselves 2 points. As you see here on the replay, that second shot just going wide of the net. Again, another golden opportunity for Forest Heights, and they just can't get the puck at the net.
Mitchell Stevens would want that one again because he had all kinds of net to play with.
And you would have tied the period. You would have got yourself half a point right there. So they are still 1 more point up for grabs here in the third period. And if you're Forest Heights, you need to get this point. It's almost desperation type mode because unfortunately for them, 2 of the teams that they are going to be battling for this last quarterfinal spot for are going to be playing each other, so that's going to make their job that much more difficult because one of them should be coming out of those games with a lot of points.
Yes. This is game 2 for both these teams, as we said before. Earlier on in the tournament, earlier on today, Yarmouth defeated Digby 6-2, and based on this point segment that we talk about, Yarmouth had 4.5 points and Digby a half a point. Forest Heights early on were defeated by Barrington 7-2. And were shut out in the points. So Barrington got the full 5 in that one. So right now, Yarmouth looking good with, well, actually right now, just 2 points. That's all they have right now. They've just won 2 periods. But as long as Peters can keep playing the way he is, but at some point, that bend not break doesn't work forever, and the break happens.
Eventually, that last straw is going to land, and the camel's back will be broken. But also, Forsyth's going to have less time to do it right now. With a 5-goal deficit, we're in running time.
That's true. And with that short bench, you have to wonder what their legs are going to be like as this period continues. Chip forward by Yarmouth. That was on the other side of the red line. It's going to come all the way back down for an icing.
So we'll see here now. Forsyth, if they come out of this game without any points, their job's done. They can take a bus back home if they want to, or maybe, you know what? If you're already here for a day, see the sights around Yarmouth. A lot of great places, good tourist stuff's come in there.
Yeah, nothing says tourist season quite like 10 degrees and wind and gusts of 80. That's what it's supposed to be tomorrow.
I've heard of worse.
Just don't play on the rocks at Cape Horseshoe.
There you go.
That goes off a lot of bodies, but doesn't get all the way to the goaltender. Yarmouth still has it. High off the boards. That's chipped down. Good touch on that one, but Forsyth is going to get there first. Corkin rips it around the boards. That's Josie with it. Josie stops the corner, takes a look, tries to go down the middle. I would call that the less than biggest effort from Justin Pictou to get that stick over to that, but it worked as we have another icing coming all the way down. As you said, for Yarmouth, every whistle is good.
Oh, yeah.
Because the clock is winding down. Now, it's a 5-goal deficit. If Forsyths are able to score a goal, we will go back into stop time. But if Yarmouth can get it back to a 5-point or a 5-goal deficit, then it does not stop after that.
Yeah, their incentive to try and stop icings are non-existent at this point for the Vikings. Heck, they might even start icing it themselves if they're even in a worse situation because, again, that clock isn't going to stop as long as you're in running time.
And every face-off, in that case, it was just a high stick for the puck. Didn't want to touch it, didn't want to touch it, did finally touch it. The whistle goes. Every time this happens, it's another 20, 25 seconds off the clock.
Exactly, and especially, we've seen this tournament, the linesmen are very stingent on their face-offs as well. They are not shy away about making someone step out. So best case scenario, you're losing 20, 25 seconds. You could lose up to almost a minute, depending on how quickly you can get to that face-off circle.
Parker chips it in deep. Yarmouth comes away with it in the corner, trying to fight their way through it. Both teams with 2 players in there. 1 player down for the Falcons. Gets back to the point. That's Lowe. Lowe has lots of room. There's a slap shot. That was a whistler, but it went high. Yarmouth coming back the other way. Chipping it forward is McNichol. 2 Yarmouth players deep, both caught behind the net. It's going to make it all the way around to Parker. Lowe has it. Loses control, though. Yarmouth has it. There's a backhand. The rebound. Puck, clears across the blue ice, but dangerously out of reach.
Just once again, seems to be almost the thing going on with Coolin at this point is that the puck just always seems to be just a little bit too far out of his reach.
Once again, the bend not break. Lowe makes a nice move, comes back in, but it goes off a leg. Coming back the other way is Watkins. Watson goes to the middle, takes a shot. Nice glove save by Coolin. I thought that was going to get underneath the glove.
The glove was the only thing between Coolin and the open net there, as you'll see here on this replay. That trapper was the only thing standing between them. He wasn't positioned. A lot of goaltending coaches will tell you want to be in front of the puck. In front of the puck when anytime you can help it, because you don't want the only thing between you and a goal is the trapper.
Chip tied down. Falcons are going to get the puck into the zone. 1-on-2 though. Sliding pass. Nice individual effort by Davis Parks, but could not quite connect on that pass. Yarmouth's going to fire the puck down the ice. It's going to be an icing. Once again, strategically not a bad move with the play the way it is. That being said, once again, Yarmouth would want every point up for grabs. So even giving away potentially a half point because they're not trying as hard in the third period, it's not that they're not going to make the quarterfinals, but it could affect the seeding in the quarterfinals.
Again, and if you're the Vikings, you definitely want to play one of these lower seed teams. There might be a few sleeping giants down there in those lower seeds, but also there could be a little bit more easier road to the semifinals and then eventually the finals on Eastlink, airing on Eastlink Community TV, channel 10 and 610.
Really, it's the full-blown where it's going to be on 610 as well?
Nova Scotia wide.
Well, excellent. There's a great opportunity. And that one, I guess, just went wide, I think. It was another one of those, I saw the mesh move. I think it was because it was wide.
I saw the mesh move as well, and I had that initial, but no, the play continued to go. So Forsyth's once again going back on the attack.
Back to the point to Bond. Bond with a shot, goes through a crowd, easily gloved by Peters.
So again, Forsyth.
Did you like that?
I didn't like that.
No. I said Bond's name without, making the cheesy reference to 007.
Oh, well, I didn't fully realize it then. If you do the cheesy reference, I understand that you are talking about Bond. I catch it every single time. As once again, Forsyth continue to get that offensive pressure going again. Again, just trying to get just that 1 point. You could end up making all the difference depending on how the next few games go.
Good defensive play there by number 5, Max Nickerson, able to clear that zone with his feet. But Falcons come right back in. Pass in front, goes behind. Nickerson gets it, fires it back to the point. That's Harris. Harris just gets it to the corner, looking for a side shot. One-timer shot, guard! Beautiful play. Lowe presented the stick, let his winger know that he was open, took the one-timer. A great one-time shot by Dominic Lowe.
As you'll see here, really no chance for Peters, and as we were talking about, the bend don't break. He called for it. It comes in nice and slow, nothing but net, and Forest Heights are still alive here at the Timber Cup tournament. If they can get out of this period, they now have that 1 point solidified. Getting that 1 point is really their only opportunity at making it the next way, and the Vikings even taking a penalty on that one, that's definitely going to cost them. We'll definitely see what happens now. Didn't see what the arm call is. I'll wait here for the PA announcement.
J.J. McPhee in the box. We'll have to wait, like you said, we'll have to wait for the announcement. We'll get that to you guys. Falcons come away. 9:11 to go. And the other important thing is this stops the clock.
No more running time.
Right through a pile of players is Lowe again. Gets all the way through to the end. Loses control at the very end. And Peters is able to grab that puck for the whistle.
So now if Forsyth's able to secure this point, if they're able to come back all the way, secure the win, we'll definitely have a much better chance at making it into those quarterfinals.
One-timer, and you could hear that ping all the way back to Forsyth's.
Really taking advantage now on the power play, trying to get those open shooters.
Lowe with a nice hard shot there. Kept it low, looking for the deflection, looking for the bodies in front of Peters, but Peters able to actually see that one all the way, takes it in the breadbasket and holds on to it for a whistle.
Again, we'll see how the Vikings are able to hold this off. Shot total now almost evening out. So again, that shows you how much Forest Heights have been doing to get themselves back in this game.
There's Lowe. Lowe with the shot. He had that top blocker side, but he just missed. Back on the side again. Cross-ice pass. That one's steered aside by the Vikings, and they're able to fire the puck down.
And that's an unsportsmanlike conduct going against J.J. McPhee. That's a very undisciplined penalty, especially at this point in a game. Can't be taking those.
Lowe gets it again. Back pass. Some room. Clear the zone. Way offside, though, is Lowe. Way offside. That was like a good 10 feet in there. And so we'll have a whistle. There is 47 seconds to go in this power play, 8:10 to go in the third period. Not so much a game situation right now, although anything can happen in 8 minutes. We've said that bend don't break for Yarmouth, thus indicating that the Falcons have had a decent amount of possessional play in this game, CJ.
They have, and the Vikings, to their credit, have fought back most of it. And again, but the Forest Heights, it shows their mental toughness as well, because they were getting so close on so many chances. A lot of different teams would have given up at some point. These guys haven't. They're fighting for their tournament.
Good work there by Moore with using that long stick to chip it back in. 25 seconds to go. We were talking throughout this entire game about what was going to happen to Forest Heights' legs, and I will give full credit to where full credit is due. We're into 7 minutes, and they do not look any slower.
It's true. Points to the coaching. That is some good coaching. One, to make sure you got a team whose legs can go, and two, operating your shifts at good lengths that no guy's getting completely gassed out.
Back to the point to Lowe. Lowe spins away from trouble. Goes to his backhand, goes to the forehand again. He's being hooked. Another attempt hit off. Yarmouth gets it, Out of the penalty box, coming back the other way is McPhee, looking to make up for that penalty, slips it across to Richardson. Richardson with the shot, and he scores! McPhee to number 27, Zach Richardson. And just as soon as the play looked to be one side, it came right back, and Yarmouth gets that 6th goal in the third period, and that clock is going to run till the end of the game now.
I think that has been the story of this game so far, as you see here. Beautifully placed shot, nothing Coolin could really do on that one. Just, again, unfortunate break for Forest Heights. The second that puck went over the blue paint, that's when McPhee came out of the box and came streaking through. So, again, Vikings get that 5-goal lead, and Forest Heights, again, their position starting to get a lot more desperate as they really needed that 1 point to really have a chance to keep moving forward in this tournament.
Now, I'm truly, CJ, I am not doing this to put the whammy on the game. In the previous game, we certainly, when it seemed like it was out of hand, some rough stuff, some scrums, some misconducts, somebody was booted right off of the ice. So far, this game has been out of reach for a little while now. It's 6-1 with 6 minutes to go, and we haven't seen that happen. So full credit to, and I'll primarily say Forest Heights, because they're the team that is behind. A bad penalty taken by Yarmouth right there, interference penalty. Absolutely no reason to make that check at this stage of the game. And so they're just allowing Forest Heights to potentially at least get back in this period. Not this game, but this period.
Exactly, and for Forest Heights, this is a desperate point. Right now, if the game were to end with this score, Forest Heights is coming out of their 2-round robins with half a point. So at that point, you need to hope that Avon View gets shut out again, and then one of either Clare or Somet gets shut out again, and you have a better goal differential than whoever gets shut out, because you're going to be tied for that last spot.
Referee didn't see the puck, but the puck was nowhere near covered. It was still being banged at, but being blocked off, being on the other side of the goaltender. They don't want people banging away at the goaltender, and from his viewpoint, that's exactly what was happening. Full marks to Peters for standing tall, keeping the pads down, and making, I think, about 3 saves there.
Yeah, you saw there on the replay. It wasn't exactly there, but again, the ref's positioning, he wasn't quite sure. Now it seems the ref's having a little bit of a conversation, probably explaining himself to the
pretty much saying what I just said.
Pretty much explaining himself to the coach, being like, hey, I was on the other side. I saw a guy digging with it. I'm not going to have him digging for long. I'm going to start blowing my whistle.
Coming back the other way is Corkin behind his own net. Lots of room. Yarmouth breaking into more of a neutral zone set here. That one doesn't go off a stick. Instead, it goes all the way down the ice. So that pass just a little bit out of reach, and as a result, the clock keeps going. Here's the interesting thing, too, though. The clock was going, and yet the penalty, I do not believe, was a 3-minute. Usually with straight time, 2-minute penalties become 3-minute penalties. Now, maybe that's not a rule.
I believe it was. I did see it at over.
Did it?
I want to say I did see 2:56 at some point when I looked at it.
Okay.
So I do think they did make that change there.
Yarmouth able to get that puck and fire it all the way down the ice again. Goes off Coolin's stick. That's Lowe. Lowe has logged a lot of minutes.
He has logged a lot of minutes. I mentioned early on, I saw him trying to do a little bit too much, but at this point, he's trying to keep Forest Heights alive, and you're getting to that point where it's time to empty out the tank.
Yeah. Good work there. You can tell the speed not quite the same as it was. Richardson's going to chase this down and get there first. Probably just going to try to lag the puck behind the net here and kill off as much time as possible. 37 seconds. Good work by him, going one way, going the other. It is 1-on-3, and so eventually Forest Heights is going to come away with the puck, but they have a lot of people behind the net.
And with all those people behind the net, again, the Vikings able to immediately put on pressure as soon as Forest Heights gets in the attacking zone.
Good work there by Parks, trying to get it in deep. Pass in front. Forest Heights will come back to that's Lowe. Lowe has it. Tries to get away from the forechecker. Saucer pass to the side. He's going to ask for it back. He gets it. Looking for a shooting lane. Doesn't have one. Gets it back. Tries to get it back to Brown. Brown had trouble controlling that saucer pass. Penalty is over now. And once again, right off the penalty, Yarmouth's going to break out the other way. And coming down is Richardson with a great opportunity. There's a shot saved by Coolin. Able to cover it up.
Once again, off of the penalty kill, Vikings going right back on the attack. It's a little bit unfortunate mishap and a little bit, you got to start learning on those things. Yeah, you got to be aware of your surroundings. When is the guy coming out of that box? When do we no longer have that one-man advantage? And if you're the defenseman, when do I start pinching in deep? And when do I know I need to stay closer to my blue line because someone might be coming from behind?
A lot of times you'll have the goaltender slap their stick with about 5 seconds to go 2 or 3 times so that, and there Yarmouth gets that goal with under 2 minutes to go to look for the clean sweep of points. I have to get, I didn't get who scored that. We were talking about something else. We'll see the replay here, see if we can get a number, but back pass, nice pass, and there it is, a nice goal.
That looks like number 9, I think.
9 would be Tanner Nickerson. We'll wait for the call from the announcer.
But also good. I want a little good there by the Vikings. Didn't celebrate at all. Didn't even do the fist bumps along the bench, which is usually the one thing that doesn't go away. But Vikings say, nope, let's just get right in, go the face off, and let's go home tonight.
So with 1:10 and counting remaining, the shots have evened out. Forest Heights, the flow of the game is not indicative of the 7-1 score. It seems like every time Yarmouth had an opportunity to score, they actually would put the puck in the net. And they were, some of those great plays that they had off of a penalty, coming out of the penalty box, they'd get to it and they'd actually have been putting that puck in. And that's what it's all about, actually converting on your chances. And Yarmouth was able to do that in this game.
If you look, it's only 3 shots between both of these teams, 26-23 in favor of the Vikings. So again, the shots were there. And I would even say that Forest Heights has put more pucks in the direction of Peters as well, but that was the main difficulty. They would create these awesome, great scoring chances, but then would miss the net, or you just get that one little flexion or hit that body in front. Just very unfortunate for Forest Heights, and that last goal, that's a dagger right into the heart because that it looks like things keep going like this. Forest Heights have one last opportunity to try come away with at least half a point.
Forest Heights waits for people to come in, steered aside easily by Peters. Yarmouth will go right behind their own net and lag out the last 2 seconds. And there's the horn. Make the final. The Yarmouth Vikings 7. The Forest Heights Falcons 1. Yarmouth's going to come away with all 5 points, CJ. Very important in the seedings as we get to the end of the round-robin play about midday tomorrow. We'll find out where everyone is and where Yarmouth will end up at the end of it. But they're certainly going to be in the upper level, 1, 2, 3 in that general vicinity, getting, I think, 9.5 out of 10 points.
I believe it's 9.5, and unfortunately for Forest Heights, that's going to do it. Out of both games, they came away with 0 points. There's only one other team who didn't come away with at least half a point in their game, and that's Avon View. So at this point, 2 teams aren't making into the quarterfinals. Only 2 teams with 0 points. The math's as clear as it can be. Unfortunately for Forest Heights, their Timber Cup is over.
Once again, I'd like to congratulate Forest Heights. So we've been saying all along, we saw the injuries, we saw the scratches on our program for people that weren't there. They were playing with a short bench. They were playing their second game of the day. They had to travel to get here as well. We thought for sure that the legs were going to be a problem for them, especially in the second half of the game, and they weren't, CJ.
No, Forest Heights, all the credit in the world goes to their coaches because that's a hard coaching level to overcome. That tells me their coaches keep their guys in top shape and manage their shifts very, very well. So Forest Heights, again, as we were saying during this game, just a few bad bounces, and this game could have gone in a completely different direction. But, that's what happens in the game of hockey, and unfortunately for Forest Heights, they didn't get the bounces going their way.
So Yarmouth, along with Paramba, the 2 host teams, the 2 Yarmouth County High School teams out of the co-hosts for the 2019 Timber Cup, going to be seated high in the quarterfinal round, hoping to do well in that quarterfinal and potentially meet up somewhere later in the playoff struggle.
Maybe even Sunday night on Eastland Community TV.
Maybe. All right. So on behalf of all the volunteers behind the scenes at MC Media, myself, David Doucette, and CJ Killen, we'd like to thank everyone for joining us for today's coverage and today's game. We hope you'll join us again tomorrow. Hockey fans, another long day tomorrow. Hope you can join us.